What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and major breaking news coming out today. This is going to be impacting interest rates, inflation, what's happening with our economy, and potential new stimulus packages and stimulus checks. This is your breaking news, stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now take a look at the headlines coming out. Inflation barreled ahead at 8.3% in April from a year ago, remaining nearly at a 40-year high. That is right, inflation is soaring. Consumer prices are still climbing rapidly. There you can see the charts at 8.3% for the month of April year over year, and you can see it is skyrocketing, and U.S. inflation simmers, worst price gains likely behind we're hearing. Now, not everybody necessarily agrees with that statement. Let me know your thoughts, and you guys just let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let's discuss this here for a second. So we have record high inflation, hasn't been this high for 40 years. How do we solve this problem? Now, we have one group of people, and you're going to be hearing right now, I'm going to be sharing with you some video footage from Fox with Larry Kudlow, who's saying we need to slow down the spending and the legislation that's getting pushed through Congress by the Democrats. And he's saying that if we do this, it's going to worsen inflation. We're going to be adding to the problem, and we got to slow down and stop, take a step back, and kind of recalibrate. And he's going to be breaking down his thoughts on this. Now, on the other hand, we just heard from the president, and we've heard from progressives that have said inflation is up, but it is not being caused by the stimulus packages and provisions that were passed. That is part of it, but the majority of this is supply chain issues, the war in Russia and Ukraine, the lockdowns happening in China, and GOP not getting on board to pass more legislation for more spending to help put money in the pockets of people at this time to help them pay for these high price increases. Now, let me know your thoughts. Two very different perspectives taking place right now. Which one do you agree with? Are stimulus checks and stimulus packages going to help with inflation, or are they going to worsen inflation? Well, we're going to take a look at the video footage. Let me know your thoughts, you guys, but this is the latest coming out. And also, if you missed my last video, you might want to check it out, as we've heard that more states and cities, they're approving stimulus checks right now from leftover funds from the American Rescue Plan Act. And in many cases, you have to apply. So be sure to check out that video. And if it applies to you, get that money right away. Now, with that being said, you guys, let's dive into the video footage. But before we do me a quick favor. If you appreciate the updates, don't forget, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Share this out if you think it could help out other people. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, totally free. I'll let you know everything going on, so why not? Just hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. If you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, and consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance if you're interested in making your own stimulus checks, since it seems like the government's taking a little bit of time to get out theirs. But with that being said, you guys, let's dive into the video footage. And again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.
For more on this, let's bring in Larry Kudlow. You watch the numbers very closely. Let's hear from you, your reaction to this number coming in at 8.3%.
Well, the first reaction is it's a stronger number than what Wall Street consensus was suggesting. And by the way, stronger inflation number is a theme. It's now, what, 15 or 16-month theme, and it's going to continue. There is no let-up in the inflation rate. And I just want to note a couple of things here. Food prices are skyrocketing, really out of control, up 12% at an annual rate for the past 3 months, 9.4% overall. The CPI itself in the past 3 months, up close to 10%, 9.9% at an annual rate. And if you take out Vladimir Putin, energy and food prices, you're still up about 6.25%, which kind of puts the lie to what President Biden was saying yesterday. I mean, this is going to be, buckle your seatbelts. This is a problem. The problem's not going away. You get higher base from last year. The comparisons are a little tougher, but you're still running over 8% overall. And the short run numbers, as I said, almost 10%. So that tells you the trend line is going to be very, very difficult. Food and energy difficult, gasoline difficult, diesel difficult. And at one point I want to make is this idea that really it's just energy. It's not just energy. As a hallmark of a virulent inflation rate, what you see in the CPI index is all prices, virtually all prices are rising. Not just some individual prices, but all prices. And that's what lifts up the index to these rapid monthly increases and yearly increases.
Larry,
so you got a problem. You just have a problem.
Turn away from the economics for a moment. Look at the political perspective here. I think the president yesterday, he was softening the beachhead. I mean, Dana, you pointed out a moment ago. Some of the things he said in his language depends on who you ask. I'm not going to predict it, but by the end of this year, some say it's going to increase next year. There's a bit of a tell in some of that language yesterday. However, there is also this, call for 8 from that same speech.
I think our policies help, not hurt. Think about what they say. The vast majority of the economists think that this is going to be a real tough problem to solve, but it's not because of spending.
That last point is the point to debate, because they're going to go to their end days and saying that what they did a year ago did not matter.
Well, look, they can say it. I mean, President played the blame game yesterday. He won't own any of these problems, and he's coming back with more spending. Look, you had prominent Democrat economists and Republican economists a year ago predict rising inflation because of huge social spending, aggregate demand increasing, deficit finance, too much borrowing, and too much money printing. And then, you had the war against fossil fuels at exactly the wrong time. So what I heard yesterday from Mr. Biden is more of the same. His progressive agenda, he wants to continue spending. He wants to continue environmental restrictions on fossil fuels and pipelines and virtually every other infrastructure, by the way. It'll kill roads, bridges, and tunnels. It'll even stop wind turbines. He wants to raise taxes. I mean, he made a pitch yesterday, right? He blamed excess profits. He blamed poultry companies. He blamed oil and gas companies. They're making too much money, so they're going to look after that. There's never been one single specific charge on that business. So, and then he wants to increase taxes across the board on corporations and successful earners, and confiscate wealth with unrealized capital gains. I mean, come on, the tax hikes and the environmental restrictions are suppressing the supply side of the economy, not enough goods, okay? And this spending increases the demand side of the economy, too much cash. So that is a combination. Everybody knows this. Dana Perino knows this too. If you're going to spend more than you can produce, well, prices have to go up. And the obvious solution is to spend less and produce more and create incentives to produce more across the board. He's operating just the reverse. And I want to say this. I know it may sound partisan, but I have to say it. This is a progressive agenda. Okay, Gingrich calls it the big government socialist agenda. This is central controlling. Okay, this is disdain for the workings of the free market enterprise system, and it's gotten him in trouble. So you look at your polls, and only about 1/3 of the people approve of his performance on inflation and the economy. 2/3 disapprove. It's a complete collapse of the progressive agenda.
Larry, thank you. Good, quick analysis on that. Progressive for now. You wait to see what happens toward the end of November, right?
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Ultra MAGA. I want to. Where do I sign? I want to Ultra MAGA.
You want that
I already
name?
may be Ultra MAGA.
You want that name tag?
I can't take it.
Ultra MAGA. See you at 4 o'clock, Fox Business. Thank you, Larry.
So there you have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. We're going to be seeing how Congress responds to the CPI data, this record high inflation. But right now, we're hearing from the president, they plan on passing more stimulus. They're trying to do it through the traditional means with bipartisan support, which is not happening. So they're trying to do it through reconciliation, which at the moment means all Democrats being unified and passing it with the majority vote, which at the moment is not happening either. So we're also hearing that if all fails, President Joe Biden is talking about executive orders and executive actions to pass through more stimulus provisions. Now, we will see. I will keep you up to date here on the channel. And again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But you guys, that is the latest, a lot unfolding. I'll be sure to keep you up to date. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me once again. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, if you want to stay up to date, totally free. Come join the Bram fam. Why not? Just smash that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. If you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, and consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. But with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.